What's going on, everybody? David Mitchell here, and welcome back to another episode of Fans of Trains. And ooh boy, got a doozy of a one. Oops, sorry. Got a doozy of a one due today for y'all. If y'all don't know, if you have not seen the short, Wednesday night, which was about 5 days ago, we had a Carver a train again. So, yeah, that was pretty bad. But someone died, and it was not a fun thing to do. But yeah, but this thing it gonna be like a little PSA for people, and I'm just gonna say this: it's not worth the time. Don't beat the train because you'll be risking your life when you try to beat the train. So I hope y'all understand that. But yeah, but let me go ahead and get ready to get Brightline on into a few minutes. But my point is that it's not worth it. Don't beat the train. Don't play chicken. Heck, and did with PO89. So yeah, my point is beating that thing on train is not worth it at all. And that one thing that people need to understand is that it's not worth your life. It really not. So yeah. So the people who think beating it and train will save you some time, it's dead wrong. But yeah. Alright, let's go to Discord. But I'll be honest, pretty brutal. Pretty brutal, and I hope it don't happen again. It might, but what hope it does not. Because that's something I don't want to see happening. So yeah. Let's see who.
You gotta do Brightline too?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, tell Brightline he's amazing.
Want to see if he online. Like I know it around 9 p.m. there in his country.
Oh,
They're about an hour to 2 hours ahead of us.
I'm so excited to see Brightline.
Let's see if he busy.
He loves to. Does he love dance?
But yeah.
My Facebook. I'm just decided not to do this in life.
Also, by the way, Val's birthday is coming up on March 9th. So, yeah, that's something else to bring up. So, the countdown have begun on that.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
Just. Dear David, I beg of thee that you have to make you get to bed after your show.
I know you got to go to sleep afterward, Val. What? Let's check a Gord online. It is a Sunday night, so you know. It'll be surprising if we do get someone on.
Oh, you need an answer?
With 1 minute, everyone. Alright, we'll back.
A dancer?
It looks like Gord not online right now either.
Oh, Mr. Brightline boy?
Or at least on the train.
Aww.
Oh!
Shut, Mr. Kingshire boy, Jay, shut up.
241 if you want to track it. Ooh. Alright, look like Gord on the train.
Florida?
Amtrak train up in New York State.
Oh.
He on 241. Or technically, that's probably a commuter train. I need to check.
Oh, I hate dogs. That stupid noise.
Alright, we're back. Yeah.
I really wanted to have a day off of my birthday.
But yeah, it's been crazy. I don't talk right now. I'm in. Oh, he in the quiet car. Oof. Oh, that sucks. He is in the quiet car.
What happened?
He in the quiet car. Meaning he can't call unless he out of it.
Oh my god.
So that's a RIP right there for a bit. But yeah, let me get back to that accident. The Amtrak accident looked pretty bad. They had to cover up the body with. I did not catch that on video. I did caught a little bit of the car, the back end of the car, but that car was totally unrecognizable. It was brutal.
Trust.
But that was pretty messed up. If you know what I mean. Let's see. But yeah. It did look brutal in a way. Let's see. It is busy. For people who don't know, Liz, or aka Elizabeth, we call her Lizzie, is a friend of me and Val's. Her friend, she also a conductor, but her friend who worked for Amtrak is a conductor too. Hey Elizabeth, so how is it at Norfolk Southern?
Well, it ain't too bad. Most of my conductors are saying I did pretty well.
Mhm.
Also, I do have to warn you. I've got night shift tonight, and so does Brian.
Oof.
Luckily, we're not on the same line. We're not on the same train. But oh my god, I think I'm gonna have to hear his voice on the radio tonight. And I think I might just end up killing someone. I wish I can.
Hey, any update on how he is doing after he hit the train the car right by my house?
Oh, Steven.
Or Steven?
Yeah, I mean, he's doing all right. Yeah, he's doing all right. Yeah, he's doing all right. It's not his first time, but you know.
Oh, it's not his first time? Oof.
Oh God, no. There was at least another incident back in 2018, 2019. I know.
Oof.
They hit a girl right by fucking Trident Tech. I was there for that. Well, I wasn't there when they hit her, but I was at the Amtrak station, and I had just saw them leave from the Amtrak station. And I'm about to go over to Trident Tech to get my textbooks. And then I've got Charlotte's radio. Because I want to hear the part and all that. So Charlotte let me borrow her radio. So I'm about to turn my ass around and go walk down the platform to give her radio back and then head on my little way, right? Well, right before I do that, this is what I hear the engineer Will say. Emergency, emergency, emergency. I'm thinking, oh no, please don't be Will. Please don't be Will. Of course it's going to be Will. There's no other train in the area. Amtrak 90, emergency. Fuck!
Mm.
I heard Will go into emergency because the crew was Will, Tony, and Steven. And I was like, oh shit. I ran my ass down the platform and I ran over to Charlotte. But she had a customer. So I started pacing. I didn't want the customer to feel rushed. So I went outside and paced on the platform. After what seemed like a million minutes, I came back in. The customer was gone. I was like, Charlotte, Will just went into emergency. Please tell me where he is. She told me. I stayed at the scene from a distance and for several hours until I had to leave for work. I did not get my textbooks that day.
Well, thing is, I knew the person also got hit.
They said he was high. They had found cocaine in his pocket. Also, who was it?
Are you serious?
Dead ass. No, who the fuck was it? I'm serious.
He was a Mexican guy named Chris.
You knew him?
Yeah, because he lived right behind the auction house. Him and his wife, like, he was married, and his wife came in to my Walmart today asking me questions because I'm usually there at train tracks, rail fan, and watching trains.
Right.
So his now wife, aka Widow, came into my Walmart and saw me and asked me some questions because she knew I train lots and all we rail fan that area. But I told her, hey, I just came up on the scene when they were just covering up the body because they were covering up the body when I just got there. But
damn, what did she ask?
She would ask me, did anybody caught it on video? No.
Oh.
I'm still trying to ask the neighbor who have their security cams. I'm still asking them because if I can find it, I might make a PSA telling people it's not worth trying to beat the train,
Yeah.
But
try and get her permission. Get her permission, though.
She done already gave me permission.
She gave you permission?
Yeah, but...
Okay.
But that one new thing I knew now know, because I never knew the guy was high.
Mm-hmm.
So... But that car was obliterated. Like, when we came up on the scene, the whole front end of the car was gone. Like, in parts.
Steven said they found cocaine in his pocket.
I know, you just said...
At first, when Steven said he was high, I thought he was kidding. Because I'm like, goddamn. Because I'm like, yeah, you gotta be high to go around a trunk like that. As a little joke. And Steven was like, nah, dog, they found cocaine in his pocket. I was like, oh, shit, for real? Dead ass. Oh, shit.
Well,
he didn't say dead ass, but
Well, they were covering up the body when I just got there, like, literally.
Damn.
Like,
let me know if you get that footage and do a PSA of it. I'll watch it. Shit.
Well, I did like, you already seen the sort on my YouTube channel, Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw that. Wasn't much of anything, but I couldn't see much,
Well, if you look on the left side of the video in the corner toward the end before it cut out, you can see the remains of the back end of the car.
Oh God.
But
the reason I couldn't get a hold of Steven that entire night was because he was busy. He was having a headache, and he was busy having to deal with getting transportation. Because he requested relief. But
I know.
We're just going to say due to several complications, he did not get relieved.
To be honest, he needed mental break because that right there, that would give anybody PTSD,
Oh, yeah.
Like, and that's the second time in 5 months someone got hit by a train.
Whoa. 5 months. What's the first time?
Last year we had a M492.
Oh. Shit, I thought you were talking about 89 or something.
No, I'm talking about the freight train.
I remember that. We did.
And that person died. And that was only 5 months ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, I'm just saying, what the crap? Like,
It needs to be double gated. I'm being serious.
Elizabeth, to be honest, I have a bad feeling I am going to catch someone getting cream trying to beat the train one of these days. I already know that's going to happen. I already know, and this is what I'll be on. I already know I'm going to catch someone trying to beat the train and getting creamed.
It's a shivering feeling, isn't it?
I know.
But to be honest, if it were to happen, like, put your in the hands, the shoes, whatever. The wife POV, because she asked you if anyone had.
I know, but To be
At least if you do, this may sound slightly fucked up. I hope you're gonna get what I'm getting at though. But at least you will have the footage for one somewhere, and it will be some sort of closure, I guess.
I know.
You get what I'm getting at, right?
I know the Amtrak have a DAC cam on it, you know?
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Well, I'm not gonna ask Steve for it. Hell no, that's not something to do.
No, because we could probably get in trouble for that. Am I right?
Actually, probably. That wasn't even what I was thinking of, but probably. Well, he probably don't even. Well, I don't know. He could have access. I don't know. He could request access. I don't know. You know, never mind. This is requiring too many brain cells. Next question.
But I know the depot camera did one thing I know for a fact. I know the depot camera caught it, but not the full thing. Like I know the depot cam caught after the train hit. Probably caught the side of the car frame because of the angle of the camera. I know the auction house camera probably caught the edge of it. So there were two different angles. Then I know for a fact with the third one, there's probably a third angle, and I know there is a third angle. You know what I mean? And that third angle is probably the neighbor, one who, you know, live in that one big house right there. Right in front of the railroad crossing, in that one nice house. But I know he probably caught it on one of his security cameras. But that was messed up. You know, like, thing is, I knew what an Amtrak train, because when me and my mom were coming home from work, we seen two cop cars booking it down 17, and we were trying to figure out.
That doesn't tell you that it's Amtrak. That could be CSX.
I know, but they were two Sarah police cars, and we said, might be a crime going on somewhere or something happened at the food line.
Right. Which is a fair assumption.
And the thing is, when we got down the road going over the railroad crossing on the church side, not 165, because we were going down, you know, we was going down, let's just say the road right there that go, and we looked down the track and we'd seen fire truck and police like.
Yeah, because when I was talking to Stephen, like yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday, because I thought he was on 89 yesterday. I was going to go see him. But he was off. I forgot. Anyway, I digress. One more digression. I ended up going to see 89 anyway, because they had that Heritage Unit 130 on. I photographed the shit out of that. I photographed the shit out of that engine. It was great.
Well, I knew.
Anyway, I digress.
But
so I was talking to Stephen. No, hold on. I'm about to forget what I was going to say. I gotta say it. I was talking to Stephen. I forgot what I was going to say. I was talking to Stephen. Said many things. God damn it. Go ahead. I forgot what I was going to say.
But what I was saying is that we looked down from the railroad from the church, and we'd seen fire truck, EMS. We'd seen everything down there, and I looked down the track and I seen the back end of PO 89, and I knew, and in my head I said, "Oh no!" It was going through my head saying, "Oh no, because
we care more about Amtrak than CSX." So
I know
Amtrak's dead. Oh god, no, because I remember what I was going to say now. So I was talking to Stephen, and I told him, and he knew I wasn't just saying it to say it, because he knew I would do it, because I've done it before. But I told him and he knew that I had to go on duty at 7 the next morning. He already knew that. But I said, I'm serious. If I hadn't have had to go on duty so early the next morning, I would have drove up there and been with y'all, been at the scene. You know, like, because I told you I was sitting a little way, but I was kind of sitting at the scene when they hit that girl at Trinity Tech. I told him I would have drove up there and sat at the scene just to be there for y'all if I hadn't had to go on duty so early the next morning. And he's like, I know, and I appreciate that. Because he knew, no, I'm dead ass. He knew I'm not just saying that to say it. He knew I really would do it. But yeah.
But Dana is that we were just checking, like, me and Mom, instead of going down our road, we went down to check how bad it was. When we got down there, we saw the whole back end of the car, and if you hear my mom and how she cussed, we seen the back end of that car. Well, you know, the back end of that car was cut in half. It was bad.
I mean, with all due respect to him and his friends and his family, he really was being really fucking stupid for trying to go around that damn train. You really shouldn't have done that.
I know, and next morning I saw his family out there picking up leftover pieces from the car accident. Saying is, and now his wife is a widow because he couldn't be patient enough to wait on the train. You know?
Because I could see it for CSX in a fucked up way. I could see it for CSX. Because, those CSX trains be long as fuck. But it's an Amtrak train. You just gotta wait 30 seconds and you're done. You go.
I know.
It's not a problem.
Like, I know, and that's insane.
Right.
Like, it was not worth it. You know?
I mean, it's not worth it even if it is a CSX, but I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I know. Elizabeth.
It's a fucked up way of stating it, but that's just how it is,
Oh, Elizabeth, let me bring that up. You're going to laugh about it, and the people on live stream are going to laugh about it too. What did it say?
Go ahead.
I did not even know we had foreign power on the line until I got back to the house and I seen a train going by with CP power last week.
Excuse me, when the fuck was this foreign power?
Last week.
Bitch.
I did not even know it. Like, I was coming back to the house to help Vel put the new bed in the room because we were putting a new bed in the room, getting rid of the old one because it was no good. And the moment I got home, I hear a train coming, and I said, oh, fuck. And I looked through the tree line, and I seen two bright red locomotives with Canadian Pacific. And I said, and I'm going to say, motherfucker. You know?
At least you saw him.
I know, and thing is that my friend told me he had a feeling we were going to have foreign power that I did not know what. And I called him a few minutes later and say, hey, man, you were right. We had foreign power came by.
Was it going north or south?
It was going south to Savannah. It was on 409.
409. 409. Wait, that goes to Waycross. Last week, damn it. It could be anywhere by now.
And the thing is that everybody else was poking about it in one group, and I was not paying attention. To be honest, if I was paying attention, I would have waited. I would have waited it out until I caught it.
You fucking hated yourself for it, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. But a week
Dude, I'm right there with you. I know the feeling, bro.
But here, funny thing, about a week before that, I caught two leased locomotives?
Yeah.
The blue and white one?
Yeah. Blue and white one, 3194. Continue.
No, it's the leased locomotive, the GP40s, you know?
What engine number?
I can't remember what number, but...
That doesn't help.
But they would cheat GX, you know?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, oh my God, I got lucky because... But week before that, I caught foreign power, you know? To be honest...
Right.
To be honest, I think it was not going to let me catch the foreign power because week before that I caught foreign power. So it was probably not going to let me catch it when some sort of cosmic zane.
Right.
But yeah. But it did crazy.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that, Elizabeth, what do you think about them trying to bring back the Sunset Limited?
I think it's a good idea.
Do you know what that means? You'll be able to take a train from Charleston down to Jacksonville, Jen changed over to Sunset Limited to California. You know, you could take 2 trains again.
Dude, that's great.
I hope they do it eventually. Now, I would love to have a train from Charlton to Columbia, but you know that probably
Yeah,
going.
that's another deal. But you know, it's an inconvenience, but it's not on the scale of what's important and what's not. It's a little least important. And if push came to shove, you could take the bus. So
Oh,
that's
Elizabeth,
something I'm wishing for. I'm hoping that we make a connection for that. Like maybe like from Charleston to fucking Spartanburg, Greenville, you know, something like that. But
I know. And here's the crazy thing. You used to have a partner train back all the way up until the 1960 from Charlton to Greenville, you know?
right,
And then
like even just like a line from Charleston to like Spartanburg or Charleston to Greenville, whichever's more of a straight line.
exactly.
You know, it doesn't matter.
And then most people don't know about it, but you've been able to take a train from, you know where Florence is?
Dude, there's an Amtrak station.
I know.
Amtrak goes there. Of course, I know where Amtrak is.
Have you noted how the station was very big back in the day?
Dude, yeah.
You know,
Amtrak, CSX actually used to share that building over there with Amtrak, and then right before, well, yeah, you know what happened. Right before I was fired from rail crew and I had my incident and all that, they actually moved across the tracks, and their building's now on the other side.
Elizabeth, you know what's crazy? You've been able to take a train from there to Greenville too. Heck, you've been able to take a train, and then back in the day, you'd take a train from there all the way to Myrtle Beach. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, wow.
That was all. Dana, you know where the RKJ Corman line is? The Carolina Southern line?
Yeah.
You know how the track, you ordered to get on the RJ Corman line, you got to back off the CXX line onto it,
Right.
and you not have to do that. That line you'd have kept on going to Florence, you know?
Right.
And Dana, you've been able to take a partner train from Florence to Myrtle Beach. It kind of sad how we lost that.
Yeah.
And
oh, hey, I'm getting another call right now. I gotta take it,
all right, later, Liz.
Alright, later.
All right, that was Elizabeth right there with a quick update on the incident. Speaking of that, Brightline would call me. But yeah, if Discord would work properly, come on, Brightline. Hey, Brightline, you there? Oh, come on. All right, come on, work. Hold it. He did call me, but I went in the middle of the call with Elizabeth, so wait a minute until he called back. Or exactly what tried to do there. Like streaming. But I'll be honest, it was crazy on what happened, you know? Like, I cannot believe, because that was second accident in less than a year, to be more exact. And that not good. That I'll be honest about. If we're going to have stuff like this, then we do need double gate to stop that from happening. But stuff like this seem like it's getting worse and worse. And people are going to keep getting more hurt because of stupidity. It's like Florida with them idiot trying to beat the train. Like, Come on, Brightline. Right, come on. Hey, Brightline, you there? Oh, 1 minute. Come on, pick up. Hey, you there?
I'm here. I'm still here.
Sorry. Hey, so
Yeah.
have you seen the short on my YouTube channel of what happened last Wednesday?
Yeah, about the derailment, right?
No, we had you know PO89?
Oh, there's a car crash?
Yeah, PO89 last Wednesday hit a car right by my house.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like literally
That's-
right by my house.
Man, that sucks.
And I caught the aftermath on video. That him out. But Brightline, I caught the aftermath on video, and the front end of the car was gone. Oh, 1 minute.
So, by the way, about that derailment that happened in East Palestine,
I know.
that was the worst. That was the worst derailment since Gigantic, I believe.
Yeah, but luckily no one died. Speaking of that PO98 is going by right now.
Oh.
The Palmetto, or not the Palmetto, the Silver Meteor.
You know, the only railroad that hasn't used PSR is CSX.
CXX have used PSR.
Yeah, but I believe in 2022, they actually got rid of. They have usually stopped using PSR.
I know. I think CXX is probably for railroads that are trying to get rid of it, to be honest, with their new president.
Yeah.
To be
And
honest,
it's gonna be a.
sir, you could say something.
To be fair, CSX, I believe that's gonna be a fresh air, a new. That's gonna be a breath of fresh air for the freight companies, especially for Amtrak.
I know.
I mean, well, for CSX specifically, because the rest of the last ones, they aren't doing anything.
And to be honest, Norfolk Southern right now is not doing so good. Like after that train derailment, something hit in the fan.
Yeah. I've heard that there were 5 train derailments last week.
Yeah, there were 5 train derailments in one day, and one of them happened here in South Carolina by CXX.
Well, yeah. I believe CSX is the safest railroad, I believe.
Safest railroad right now, but only for a certain amount. And heck, you know what's crazy? Norfolk Southern knew Safest Railroad back in 2012 before they started PSR. They were the safest railroad in the United States. They had the title.
There was actually one man who introduced PSR in the 1990s in every single Class 1 railroad. And by the way, he was the guy who invented
Hunter Harrison.
There was one guy.
Hunter Harrison.
Wait, what?
It was Hunter Harrison.
Yeah, Hunter Harrison. Yes, he was actually a CEO of various different railroads, especially the Class 1s.
I know, and thing is that he should have never been allowed to run railroads. You know, he should have had a ban on him. You know.
Yes.
To be honest, if there were a ban on him, we could have stopped the East Palestine disaster. You know.
Yeah, it would have been better off.
But a lot of people are now saying that they could put Norfolk Southern as a fallen flag. Everybody now saying Norfolk Southern would probably be the next fallen flag railroad.
Yeah, versus BNSF and now Norfolk Southern.
To be honest, I was expecting BNSF to go first because of their stupidity, but I get Norfolk Southern might be one doing it in.
Yeah.
But Dane, I know there are two railroads that are going to be falling flag soon. That's CP and KCS, because they're both merging into one new railroad. You know.
That's going to be another Class 1, I believe.
Yep. KCS and CP are both Class 1 railroads that are merging into one bigger Class 1 railroad. So
I believe CP uses PSR, I believe.
no, they don't use PSR. They got rid of it long ago.
Before CSX.
Yeah, them and KCS don't do PSR. KCS hates it. You know what I mean?
The Florida East Coast Railroad never uses PSR.
CXX used to. Like, I remember it was a pain in the ass because of PSR on your heck. Norfolk Southern been using it. But yeah. But Brightline, I'll bring it up. I caught the aftermath of a car for a train Wednesday, you know?
Yeah.
It looked bad. You know? The person died, you know?
Yes.
Like, sure, we did it the second time that someone got hit by a train and died in Ravenel in the last 5 months, you know?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, like, literally. And that,
you know,
that's pretty bad.
Accidents with train accidents that usually happen on railroad crossings.
Yeah.
It's been a problem since railroad crossings were a thing.
And saying is that he tried to beat Amtrak around it. Like, he drove the car around it and got hit. Saying is he was high on crack.
Oh, that's another thing. You can't drive under the influence of drugs, mainly alcohol.
Yep. So
I guess that was his fault.
And you know what messed up seeing it? I actually know his family. I know the person. I have a friend who knows the person who was driving that Amtrak train when I just got done talking to her before I called you, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was still talking to her when you called me earlier.
I see.
And we were talking about, you know, what happened, and she told me he was upset after hitting that train. To be honest, I would not blame him, you know? And it's not his fault anyway.
Huh.
And the train hit the car so hard the front end exploded, like, into parts everywhere. It flew the body out. Like, he was not wearing any seatbelt and he was thrown right out of the car. Like,
gosh,
he was already dead on impact.
I mean, like, I do not want to drive a car if there's a train going at me, right at me. I'm like, dude, it's unsafe, man. Unsafe.
And to be honest, this is what I'll be honest about that train was going 85 miles per hour when it hit that car. So
imagine if that train could go 250. That's bullet speed, man.
That car gonna be a freaking, you know, ball pile, you know?
I believe that car would go down to the shadow realm.
Oh, yeah.
To the shadow realm.
Like I'm banishing you to the shadow realm. Am I right?
Yeah.
But to be honest, that was a stupid mistake that cost him his life. Like, heck, you could still see the back in the car, but the front end was completely gone. Like, that front end destroyed. Ugh. You know?
I mean, like that car just got wrecked.
I know, and the Amtrak train that go by my house usually go 85, maybe a 90 mile per hour. So
that's not high speed, but that's fast, man.
I know.
You can't stop a train going 80, 90 miles an hour.
My
That's a heavy equipment.
My guess is that he was going faster than 80, probably maybe even 90. He would probably hit a 90 by the time he hit the car, but here it's saying Amtrak train, they get off fast, you know? They're not like freight train, but Amtrak train do take a couple of yards to stop, but they stop a lot faster than a freight train. And like literally, it took them half a football field to stop, you know?
Half a foot, that means 50 yards. Wait, not 50 yards. That's about, I don't know how much an American football field is, but that took that half a football field. So accounting with the end zone plus 50 yards, that's about, I believe, 62 or 63 yards.
Approximately. He literally slammed that sucker in emergency. Like, you know he slammed that thing in emergency brake fast. You know what I mean?
My goodness.
So I know a lot of people probably got jolted and flung right into the wall in the Amtrak train, too. So that probably going to hurt some passenger on the inside. You know? Unless they're wearing belts, but god damn, that was messed up, you know?
Yes.
Heck, there are still car parts in some areas after that aftermath. It was bad. You know what I mean?
So how many miles did that car went after it hit the train?
It would, like, let's just say, it would drag a good, like, from when the train stopped, it was already half a football field, but the part of the car kept on rolling for another 20 to 30 feet.
My goodness.
So he hit that car hard enough where it flung the parts, you know?
That car had a concussion.
It was gone. Like, the front end was it. The back, you could tell that from the back it was a car, but when you get to the front, the whole front end was completely blowing up. You couldn't even tell the front end was a car. That's how bad it was.
My goodness.
Ugh. But saying is that a lot of people knew the person who got hit around here, just like the last one, you know? It probably...
it's the same person? Was it the same person, though?
No, it's not the same person that got hit last year. It's a different person, you know?
Oh.
But, you know, I already know eventually I'm probably going to end up catching someone getting hit by a car. You know, I'm not a car, but a train. Eventually.
Well, Millennium Force had caught a lot of close calls on his videos. He's a railfan YouTuber from Florida.
Oh, I know.
I remember from a few years back, he caught truck drivers, pedestrians crossing the tracks. And that was a close call for some pedestrians too, and some trucks.
Oh. And you know what? You know what crazy? Back before YouTube started really cracking down on videos on YouTube, yes. But I remember. It's up, and I remember. There was one video on YouTube where when they started building the Brightline, it was back in 2014, 2015, that a SEC ballot train hit someone on video, and saying is that the person survived, you know?
My goodness.
Like, literally, I don't know how the person survived, but, you know, they survived, but the video still got taken down. You know?
Yes, I've heard of a person who got hit by a train and then survived in, I believe, in Plant City.
I know. Then, if you remember about a decade ago, a guy who was working on the railroad fell off a freight car while doing some yard switching, and his body got cut off, and he survived. Like,
Well,
that, I'll be honest, that right there, that a miracle. Getting your body cut off and still surviving.
my goodness.
Like, someone got to be up there looking down on you, saying it's not your time to go from that. Am I right?
Yeah. Some people get lucky.
But also, I am going to bring something else up. You remember Susan, the CEO of YouTube?
Yeah, she got booted out of the company. Yeah.
Yep, she had to step down. You know?
Well, I believe I've heard that this new CEO that they're trying to put in right now is worse than Susan.
I know. What I heard is that he was one who supported, removing dislikes. And also, he supported NFTs,
Gosh. Next time, he's going to remove the subscribe button.
Oh, if he does that, people are going to be rioting and at the YouTube, building with pitchforks. You already know that's going to happen.
If that's going to happen, well, I think YouTube is going down the drain.
To be honest, I think he's not going to be at YouTube for long either. I think moment he starts doing stuff, I think he's probably going to get removed too,
Yeah.
To be honest, what I heard, he is a sleepwalk ball because he supported NFTs,
Yeah.
And saying it,
by the way, I can't see the amount of dislikes in the video. Back when YouTube was an SJW free, a woke free place. Now you can't see the dislikes.
To be honest, you can blame it on the woke community and cancel culture. Like, good God, can cancel culture just die already,
Well, that was after Biden was sworn in as president. Well, a few days after. So I believe that these woke people do not like the amount of dislikes that Biden was getting, so they had to get rid of it.
Tell me about it.
They can actually protect politicians from they actually support their own favorite. They can actually protect their own favorite politician from criticism,
And
which is a red flag, man.
I know, and then let's bring up something else too that involved YouTube. And YouTube made it stricter for games. Let's be honest, gaming company, they need to crack down and say, look, YouTube, if you keep on doing it, you're going to have a real bad problem with the gaming community. Because the gaming community is pissed right now because of YouTube,
Not the gaming community, historians too, man. They got cracked down. YouTube cracked down on them for no reason, just because they're showing historical fact, because it's and I quote, not age appropriate for high schoolers, which is not age appropriate for high schoolers. Those videos are educational, man.
This is stupid because high schoolers are some of the most dirtiest people out there. Let's be honest. That's in high school. That my rule is once you're in high school, everything goes. No age restriction once you go start high school. That's my point. Stop trying to censor everybody and stop trying to baby everybody. Am I right?
Yeah.
Thing is, if we keep on babying everybody, we're probably going to put the human civilization on the path of extinction,
Yeah.
Good God, stop babying.
Yes, exactly.
To be honest,
there was this historian who actually made a video about that, and he wanted to trust bust Google just for that. And I agree.
YouTube, I'll be honest, I think Google do need to be trust busted.
Yeah, do it if Roosevelt were today.
Not Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt.
He
was one of the best. He was one of the best presidents that I had ever seen.
Yeah, him, and also the one that in '98 right now. We had a couple good presidents, like him, and also the one who supported Habitat of Humanity. You know.
Yeah.
It's sad that he is slowly dying. You know.
Yeah, man.
Because he was another good president, but he is the longer living one, you know?
Yes.
Can you believe that at 98?
Yes.
But,
well, yes.
It's just crazy. Now, I did see in the link of that video that you sent me, and I have to agree with that, you know?
Well, what video are you talking about? You mean Woodrow Wilson?
Yes.
Gosh, I hate that guy.
Like, to be honest, he was an awful president. He was racist, you know. And
yeah, he actually expanded the KKK. Just second, he established the Sedition Acts, 1812. He was like a tyrant.
Not 1812. It was he ran after Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, and lastly, the thing that I actually do not agree on, he actually signed the Federal Reserve into. Well, he established the Federal Reserve. In other words, it's actually the Federal Reserve is a central bank that controls.
I know, and that was a terrible idea because one, it's one of the reasons why our country is so bad right now, you know, and suburbia and the interstate. I could go on, you know.
Yeah, you can actually blame all of that. Well, you can actually blame the policies in the current government on Woodrow Wilson. Wilsonianism actually polluted Wilsonianism polluted American politics to this day, man.
I know. And let's not forget another president who just had bad. The only thing that our president did right was desegregate the army. And you know who I'm talking about.
Who?
Eisenhower.
Oh, Eisenhower. Well, I don't consider him to be the worst president, but...
Sorry, David.
No.
But he's one of those presidents. It wasn't his fault for that, man.
But
it wasn't his fault. I could actually blame it all on Wilson.
But to be honest, let's be honest, he was one who wrote the Interstate Act and caused us to be in the mess, you know?
True, he deserves some criticism.
But the only thing he did right was not the Interstate Act, but, you know, desegregating the army. That was the right thing, you know? Heck,
David, I was thinking about having an Amtrak equivalent to the Class 1s, about the freight railroads.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Amtrak focusing only on passenger service, they can actually focus on freight service too.
They tried that
They tried to do that.
Right, they tried doing that back in the 90s and 2000, but, you know, the government cracked down on them on that.
Yes, but what if there was a freight, let's say that Amtrak could have both passenger and freight services for both trains. Well, Amtrak could operate. Imagine if Amtrak could operate passenger trains and freight trains all at the same time. That's going to be a new. That could be. What do you think?
That could have worked. Like they were doing good back in the day when they did it back in the 90s and early 2000s. It did that BNSF and all the Class 1, and the government said, nah, we're not letting you have that, To be honest, Brightline, did what I'll be honest about. If Amtrak had their way back then, they could have been profitable before they hit their 50-year mark. They could have been profitable in the mid-2000s if the government allowed them to do freight,
Yeah, they could. I think the federal government could have bought out all the railroads, and so that Amtrak could actually own the entire U.S. rail network.
But to be honest, we run our country like a business, and we don't need to be doing that. The people who say we need to run our country like a business are total idiots. Look,
that's classical neoliberalism.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Tina, look what it got our country into. We're not doing good. We keep running our country like a business. Our country going to fall apart, and then we're going to be a third world country.
Yes.
And the big tycoons know this. They know. And they don't give a crap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Brightline?
Yeah, speaking of the tycoons and Wall Street, you've heard about Demetrius criticizing the three main companies who own the Class 1s.
Yes.
I believe it's State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock.
Yes.
I mean, gosh, Demetrius is like, I had to close them because, I mean, they control every aspect of the U.S. economy, even the Federal Reserve.
Well, it's true, and they need to be cracked down upon,
Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon. That is not going to happen. You know why?
Because
they have control.
True.
They have control. Yeah, they have control over the federal government.
To be honest, I think something is going to happen that will really screw them up, to be honest, Brightline,
Yeah.
But
even if they get caught red-handed, the government wouldn't care. They're actually protected, so.
I know, and that should not be around. Technically, they're the oligarchs of the United States. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're the ones who actually caused the financial crisis of 2008.
I know.
Yes. Gosh. I mean, yeah, not until the people actually open their eyes about this, because most of them don't know about it, because most Americans don't know about it.
Exactly. If Americans know about it, it would screw some of these companies up. Heck, some of these people would have to go into hiding, for what they did to the country,
Yes.
But yeah. But I'm gonna bring up some positive news. There are some freight railroads that are actually trying to bring passenger service back.
Oh yeah. What about them?
And they are Class 3s, and some company like there is one railroad called the Finger Lakes Railroad, with a conglomerate that run 4 short line railroads.
Uh-huh.
They bought a railroad up in Maine, and going from Brunswick to another city, I can't remember, but the railroad that they run up there, they're talking about doing passenger service this summer. So
Are they doing it the right way, or
no,
they're just doing
they're doing
they're bringing
RCDs.
Amtrak to-
They're not
What?
using Amtrak car. You know the RCDs cars. You know those self-propelled cars from the 1950s.
Huh.
That we're gonna be using 4 of them. You know,
Nice.
heck, it will be good. It'll start. You know, it'll.
Well, they got to start somewhere.
Then let not forget about Smart right there in California. You know Smart.
Yeah.
Smart brought out the freight railroad that run along their line, so now they are hauling freight on their railroad now, you know?
Yep.
So we now got two railroads that now do freight and passenger again. I do see it in our decade, or not in our decade, in this century, we're going to have a railroad company that does freight and passenger at the same time. I do see that being a comeback, you know?
Yeah. By the
So,
way, I think we should actually trust bust the class ones. Because,
yes.
I mean, I believe some people want to nationalize the rail industry, but I think trust busting them is another way how to bring back those. Well, let's face it, just to bring back the other railroads. Some railroads who disappeared throughout the decades.
I know. Heck, Union Pacific, let be honest, Union Pacific, they need to be trust busted. BNSF need to be trust busted. Norfolk Southern are already getting a crop that we don't need to worry about them. CSX
And I think
need to be.
CSX needs to be trust busted too.
Yes.
And yeah, I think they need to trust bust the class ones and breaking them up into class 2s and class 3s.
Hey, well, we still need class 1s, to be honest.
Yeah, we don't need class 1s.
Actually,
We're back. What do you think?
Like back in the day, in the 1959, we had about 90 class 1s, and then by the 1990s and early 2000s, we only had 7. You know?
The more class 1s there are, the more the competition, the more the options.
Exactly. Like, bring back more class 1s, you know?
Yeah. The Florida East Coast Railroad is actually class 2, but they're trying to going to be back to class 1s, hopefully.
Heck,
I don't see.
and to be honest, we had another railroad in Iowa called the Iowa Interstate. At the rate they're going, they might become a class 1 by the end of the decade. Then RIP Montana Rail Link, because let's be honest, Montana Rail Link came close to becoming a class 1. They became close, you know? And they did not want to become a class 1 because I knew for a fact if they came a class 1, BNSF was going to screw them. In the end, BNSF still screwed them, you know?
Yes. By the way, Teddy Roosevelt actually loved to trust bust every single company. He did it to Standard Oil too.
I know.
Which is now ExxonMobil.
Like, and funny thing is that let's be honest, if he had won that third term, you know, a lot of the companies that did it would not exist. Let's be honest.
And it would be less control for the lobbyists in the federal government.
Because, let's be honest, he was talking about doing a third term. And saying it, he did not won that third term, but if he did, we could have seen a better country.
Yeah, Woodrow Wilson won in a fluke.
And
Election.
I know, and Woodrow Wilson should have never became president because he was a bad one.
Yeah, we could have, if Teddy Roosevelt actually won that election, we wouldn't have seen the rise of communism, the rise of anarchism, and the rise of Nazism.
Yeah, because let's be honest, he was dead against. Or technically, let's not forget, Teddy Roosevelt died in 1914.
Yeah.
He died before World War One even. He technically died the year World War One started. But to be honest, reason why would be because he got shot and he had a bullet that was stuck in him. So that bullet that was shot into him in a bot assassination attempt that failed. Let's be honest, it was going to kill him anyway. That it was poisoning himself with the wet lead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was going to die anyway, but if he had won that third term, he could have, rerouted the country into a better direction,
Yeah, he could have. I believe Theodore Roosevelt's vision of America would have shaped America as we know it today.
Mm-hmm.
We would have shaped America much more differently than it was today.
Heck, let's be honest, Teddy Roosevelt was a total badass. Like, let's be honest, dude literally could fight.
Yep.
And let's be honest, he built a freaking boxing ring under the White House, and every weekend, him and some of the guys wrestled, Like,
Can I have my headphones now?
Sure.
But he was a tad of a president. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
But he also seen equal rights. He also, supported female rights. He also, was dead against prostitution,
Yes. Also, he would have had desegregated the government, the federal government, way earlier than Eisenhower.
I know. No, I hate to say it. If Teddy Roosevelt had done it, it would have probably made Eisenhower look bad.
Yeah.
To be honest,
the thing that I disagree with Teddy Roosevelt is about federal income tax. That's the only thing I am against. The only thing I disagree with. I believe federal income tax actually made sense back in the day because there was an amendment called the Prohibition Amendment that alcohol was prohibited.
Prohibition was started in the 1920s after Teddy Roosevelt died, but it lasted for a decade and then it ended in the 1930s.
Yeah. Can you repeat that? Because my headphones was muted.
I said Teddy Roosevelt died before Prohibition started. He died in 1914. Prohibition started in 1920.
Yeah. No, I believe it was earlier than Teddy Roosevelt.
No, it actually started in 1920. They talk about it in history books, and a lot of historians talked about it.
Oh, so what about that federal income tax that he favored? What was it that about?
I'm not sure.
Because the United States.
I'm not sure.
What you were saying?
I said I'm not sure.
Man.
But
the United States government did not rely on federal income tax before. The United States relied on tariffs. It was the main purpose well, it was the main. It was the federal government's main income, tariffs.
I know. And thing is that it's sad how bad our country have gotten, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, I forgot to show Dimitri a meme that was made on Valentine's Day about the train wreck in Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. The Ohio memes actually died down because of that train wreck.
No, but did what a meme talk about roses are red, violet are blue. You want to say it, Val? Norfolk Southern derailed toxic waste in, or let me find a photo because it's hilarious, you know?
I saw that meme, I believe.
In the meme chat in Discord.
Yes, I believe it was in the meme chat. Let's see.
You know, funny thing, it's been 2 weeks, we now been over a week since Demetria did a, live stream.
Guys, yeah. Okay, so roses are red, violets are blue. We run off the tracks and start a toxic fire for you.
I'm not gonna lie, that's funny, you know?
Yeah.
To be honest, I did that so to Dimitri because that live stream was right after Valentine's Day, you know? That would have fit, you know?
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
By the way, I actually rejoined Transport Central.
Oh. You know, I'm still banned from that group from when I called them out for being car supporters, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah, I called them out and, a lot of people agreed with me because, let's be honest, we talked about how train could work and there were some car people in there, anti-train people in that group who were admins, you know?
Oh, I see.
And one of them kicked me out of the group and banned me because I called them out.
That's being hypocritical of them.
I know, and saying is that, hey, if you can't take it, then don't spray it, you know?
Yeah.
And saying is that even though that their group, or technically they are part of the group, even though they're admins, they need to learn that everybody else have an opinion in the groups too, you know?
So that is why Demetrius Villa distanced himself from Transport Central.
Yep. That's the reason why, because it was all a bunch of car supporter and bus transit instead of what we really need, you know? Yeah,
true.
I remember in that group, they were talking crap about commuter rail, partner rail, anything about train, and they were praising buses and the infrastructure around it with, you know?
They actually welcomed me with a bright line emoji.
Oh my god.
Oh, that first time. Well, be careful around that group because the moment you start supporting rail in a good way, they'll start talking crap about you. Trust me. Because that's one of the reasons why Dimitri left the group, because they showed their true colors. You know?
That was, I believe, Highcast and whatchamacallit actually are admins in this group.
They are, but, they refuse to add me back, even though I called it out, you know?
Yeah.
To be honest, they need to understand that people are going to, disagree with what you believe in, and don't force your beliefs on them. Heck, even when me and Dimitri, like when I called out the airline and how they are bad, that was one of the other reasons why I got kicked out of that group, you know? For calling out the airlines, you know?
Mm-hmm. I see.
Literally, I called the airlines out, and I called some of them out for trying to drink the Kool-Aid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
by the way, I spot a brony in that group.
Oh God.
I spot a brony in that group who has a profile of Fluttershy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's great. Hey, do you remember the Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory.
The TV show.
Oh no.
Good. I hated that show. And I have every right to hate it because one of the main characters called Sheldon, you know the term blackface?
No.
Sheldon is the blackface of the autistic community. You know that bad. Am I right?
I see.
So that reason why I never liked the Big Bang Theory because it had a stereotype of what they think autistics act like, you know?
Yeah. By the way, have you heard of the song of Dixie, the Union version?
Oh, I have. My stepdad played it.
What?
Dixie.
Dixie?
Union Dixie.
Yeah.
Dixie?
Oh, way down south in the land of traders, rattlesnakes and alligators.
My stepdad played that song before.
Yeah. I imagine those Confederates, those neo-Confederates, they would actually lose their minds if somebody plays that.
I'll be honest, a bunch of them are idiots, you know?
Yeah, true. True.
I just,
I mean, I may be a Southerner, but come on, let it go already.
I know. Now, one thing I do think kind of is stupid is removing the statues, you know? And
Yeah.
to be honest, removing the statue, even though the people done wrong, they think it right, but it don't. Because the moment you start moving statue, you start removing books, and then you're doomed to repeat history. Look what happened to Germany right before World War II, you know?
Yeah, we have to concern about that. There was one type of there was one such scenario where they tried to ban the name of George Washington in California. They're trying to rename a high school there.
And that's dumb, you know?
Yeah, I get that because quote unquote George Washington was a slave owner, but
he was the first president who was trying to free his slaves. Let not forget that.
Yeah, true. That was on his deathbed in 1799, I believe.
Yeah, he wanted them to be free, and he had on his thing to teach them how to read and stuff, you know?
Yep.
To be honest, he was a good president. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But banning him just because he's a slave owner and he's quote unquote these days wokesters don't know how to learn history.
To be honest, they want to run the country into the ground, and they want to run it in their way. Like, heck, some of the rogues are just so psycho, they need to belong in a mental hospital, you know?
Yeah, some of them want a dictatorship in the United States.
Like,
and I don't want that.
I don't want that either. Good God.
Oh, you did not. Well, you guys are lucky to not have a dictatorship in the United States. In my country, well, not in my country where I live in, we had 7 dictators. Well, I believe, yes, 6 dictators, I believe. One of the worst ones was Rafael Leonidas Trujillo.
Ooh, I heard.
And he ruled for 30 years. And guess who set him up?
Who?
Woodrow Wilson.
Of course.
Yeah, he was the one who actually occupied the Dominican Republic from 1814 from 1914 to 1924.
To be
And during that occupation, Trujillo actually ascended the ranks. Then later in 1930, he became a dictator.
I know, to be honest, people like that are bad, you know? What thing is that hopefully we can get away from it and recognize the rogue people are just as bad as, Nazis, because let's be honest, they are just as bad.
Yeah, they're absolutely worse.
Heck, some of them even want to, kill girls. Get messed up.
Yeah. Kill girls? Oh, gosh.
Yep. Jane and some of the woke people, they need to be thrown in mental hospital or in a jail cell,
Yes, and by the way, there's actually a communist party in the United States.
I already knew.
No joke.
Kind of figured that already,
Yeah. Yeah. These guys want to, I believe these guys actually want a Soviet-style government, living like in the Soviet Union.
Nope.
Where the government actually, you don't have, in these communist countries, you don't have the right to...
Where you live.
Yeah, you don't have the right to get out of the country as you please or to travel around the world.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, these people are never going to be in government because let's be honest, if they do, people are going to take them down before they even have a chance.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, our country hates dictators. The moment you try, and communists, moment that you try to do that, they're probably going to either impeach you or probably hire someone to assassinate you. You know what I mean?
Oh, throw a shoe on someone.
Yep. Am I right?
I mean, yeah, the United States is actually founded on principles of freedom and democracy and such, but...
Dan, I know if they try that, it's going to backfire,
I guarantee you, if a dictator comes around and takes power in the federal government, let's face it, the Americans will not have that crap.
Heck, even the military, let's be honest, the military will say, nope, we're moving you out. Literally.
I mean, there was an attempt for a coup in the United States government.
Let's be honest, there have been a few who tried to do a coup in the United States but failed, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Saying
true.
Saying is that when you try to control the people who know what freedom is and have freedom, they're going to fight for it. The problem is that the media knows it and they're trying to make everybody forget about their freedoms. What I don't agree with.
I know mainstream media is
it dying. Mainstream
media is the worst possible force that you can think of. I don't believe in the mainstream media. I don't watch it.
To be honest, mainstream media is dying. Let's be honest, it's dying in front of our eyes.
Yeah, true.
And I do see, even though their plan is to try to manipulate everybody to get rid of the right to bear arms and the freedom of speech, I think it's going to backfire on them,
Yes. I've heard of an expert saying that the United States may go down to a dictatorial path if that happens.
I know, but I think it's going to backfire on them,
Who knows, man? Who knows?
To be honest, I know for a fact stuff like this will backfire,
Yeah.
Because people do fight tooth and nail, you know? And saying it, in our country, they won't let that happen because everybody know what could happen, and everybody will not let it happen.
No, I actually disagree with those two policies. And any other American who actually lives in the United States would actually share the same sentiment. We don't want to take our rights away.
Mm-hmm. Heck, South Carolina then made it clear that if that happened, they're going to fight tooth and nail to, keep it from happening.
Yeah, true.
Heck, one thing I'm hoping if Nikki Haley win, like Nikki Haley is talking about running for president. My state president, one that was senator of South Carolina, also an ambassador under Trump. To be honest,
yeah,
I'd rather have her at president than any of the old geezers,
Yeah, to be fair, I prefer Trump to have his second term because I believe what actually shaped Trump's way of thinking was Ross Perot. You never heard of that guy?
I have.
You have?
Yep.
I mean, he was the guy who predicted NAFTA. He disagreed with NAFTA because it was going to ship American jobs overseas. Second, he thought that the U.S. dollar was going to collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And third, he thought that, well, all of that happened. Those two things happened.
Mm-hmm. Thing is,
I believe...
you can keep on saying it, right?
And not only that, back in the 1990s, Ross Perot wasn't independent, so he wasn't in any other political party.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer having an independent in the White House rather than having a
Democrat or Republican.
Yeah. What do you think?
I agree, but also, the other thing is that Trump damaged goods already. He already damaged goods. Like, there's no going back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, he's too old to run, and he's going to be 80 soon, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
Heck, Biden, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, both parties have pulled the country to hell,
Yes. I don't support a third-party system either. I prefer a no-party system where I believe a government with no parties, so the Americans could not be divided.
Exactly.
So much.
I agree with you on that, Brightline. Like,
I mean, George Washington, the first president of the United States, disagreed on having any political parties
because he knew what could happen. He knew what's going to happen.
Now George Washington might be rolling on his grave right now.
He probably is.
Yeah.
He probably.
Yeah. Well, it happened during his presidency when Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton was arguing with each other of having a national bank or not having a national bank. It actually split. That issue spoiled. I believe that spilled over Congress and formed the first two political parties: the Democrat Republicans and the Federalists.
Yeah. And then, let's be honest, the Federalists, they did not even last all the way up until the 1800s. Let's be honest, they were disbanded in the early 1800s. Then, the only party that were running was the Republican Party, and then we had the Democrats in the late early 1900s, you know?
Yeah.
The thing is...
Okay, so it's history.
Mm-hmm. Thing is that we need to talk more about history in our schools, you know?
You know that Thomas Jefferson was against a national bank?
To be honest, the National Bank I do not agree with, because let's be honest, we all seen what the National Bank is doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what I'm... Yeah, you know what I mean. The Federal Reserve is also a national bank. It is actually counted as a national bank, I should say.
Mm-hmm. I know. And the thing is that we're kind of screwing ourselves because of that, am I right?
Yeah, I could blame that on Woodrow Wilson.
I know. Hey, you know, one of our friend online, you want to invite him in?
Who?
Gord.
Oh, Gord. I want to see him.
Yeah.
Let me try to...
Yeah, let's call him in the group. I'm going to call him in the group.
All right.
Right. Oops. Wait. Oh, and Oh, 1 minute. Right. All right.
Yes, you're here.
All right. I was meant to call the group, and I instead called him instead. Oops.
Oh.
Hopefully,
in the group.
Hopefully he got off that train, because he was riding the Amtrak train when I tried calling him earlier, and he was in the quiet car.
Yeah.
You know?
I believe let me try to check that guy who's off. Yep, he's offline. Good thing.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking to?
Yeah, the
You know what I'm talking about?
the little little PIP.
Don't mention his name. I'm gonna mention him. Oh shoot! Oh gosh, that almost. I actually sent a video on this group about Wilson. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Wilson was a bad president. You know.
Yeah, I believe he's the worst president.
Agree. I knew something about him was not good when they talked about him in history class.
Yeah, I believe so. Some people think that Trump was the worst president. I don't think he's.
He don't even come close.
Really?
Trump isn't even close.
Because
But some people in the Democratic Party do agree that Trump is the worst president.
Oh yeah.
Well, I believe it's they're biased. They're biased.
They're biased. Oh,
heck, they'll even agree. But I'll be honest, he is up there, but not as much as some of the other on that list. You know?
Yeah, he's actually a meh president.
Agree.
He's not that bad, but not that good.
Exactly. I would say Biden would be up there out a bad president, you know?
That Brad
Yeah, he's the most incompetent president I had ever seen.
Agree.
David, can you be easy with my stuff?
Sorry. But to be honest, either way, Biden or Trump, we would have still screwed. You know, hopefully we get someone new. You know.
Well, I wish the United States actually change its philosophy on how they view the world. once they get that out of the way,
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, did something else I'm going to bring up. I knew Biden or Trump, we would still got screwed. Either way.
it's the lesser of two evils.
Exactly.
I mean, Trump, in my opinion, is the lesser of the two evils. But to be honest and to be fair, Trump is not a great dude. He's not that good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of Trump, but at least he had a brain.
True. They are saying Biden talk about not running for another run. Like, rumors are saying that he's not going to run again.
Okay. I've heard some rumors that Hillary is going to run again. Oh gosh.
No.
Not Hillary.
No.
I do not want to see Hillary.
I
do not want to see Hillary.
You want to know? I don't want to. Do you know the reason why I don't think she would be a good president? Because how she talked about autistic people and the group she supported. She supported Autism Speak, admitted that they wanted to genocide the autistic community, annihilate us.
Oh my gosh!
And saying
you know what's worse about Hillary is about those emails.
I know. To be honest,
I do.
I'm sorry.
At least I didn't. I supported Hillary in 2016. Well, at least, thank God she didn't got elected.
Agreed. Let me be honest about it. Like, Hillary couldn't even admit that if she became president, she would made it mandatory for autistic, depending on how functional they are, that they would get spaded and neutered like animals.
My goodness.
That technically right there should count as genocide,
And the people of Hillary think that the election was rigged. That election was rigged. I think that was a death blow.
To be honest, she is too old herself. She is too old anyway.
Yeah, true.
She is around the same age as Biden, Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I knew for a fact if she had won, me and Val, we would not have been able to get married. 2, I would have had to go underground and probably fled to a different country like Canada or Mexico because I'm autistic.
You can actually flee from to the Dominican Republic. That's what I did. That's what I actually did.
To be honest, this is what I'll be honest about. If she had became president, I would have to go underground and get out of the country.
Yeah.
And
I would have done the same, man.
A lot of autistic people, and thing that kind of scared the crap out of me. A lot of autistic people did not realize the truth until afterward. Like, a lot of autistic people were talking about voting for her. They did not realize what she was really going to do until after she lost the election. And some of them said, "Oh my God, we could have ended up putting our own community at risk and probably called a mass genocide in our community in America if we had."
Oof.
A lot of the autistic who voted for her realized afterward.
Well, good thing I haven't voted for her. I was actually way too young during that time.
To be honest, if she had voted, you and me, we would both been screwed because we both are autistic.
Well, I would have been in a safe haven because I'm out of the country. I've moved out of the United States since 2012. I was living outside the United States since 2012, so that's not going to affect me.
Mm-hmm.
Good
But-
thing.
But she was trouble, you know. Thing is that she had one, it would have been bad for us autistics.
So, I've heard of Bright Orange.
Oh yeah,
That-
it made it to Florida. It made it to Florida.
Yeah. I wonder what Brightline is having up on its sleeve. They're trying to expand service from Atlanta to Charlotte.
Oh
Are you still
God,
there?
God, Sakar Gorel fan in meme and talking about the air would not be worth it. He's still talking about, you know, the train wreck in Ohio.
Oh,
But
those. I remember that meme. We did it, Norfolk Southern. We saved Ohio.
oh yeah, I remember that. You know our team.
I
You know Alan
actually missed
Pfister.
the live. I missed the live stream due to slow internet connection.
I kind of figured that, you know. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think Dimitri are probably either going to do a live stream this week or probably next week. Hopefully, you know. What I hope he don't.
He's gonna do a live stream next month. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure of that.
What hope he don't ghost again. You know. Good God, like you remember when he ghosted us?
I believe he actually went into hibernation mode.
I know, but good God, you know. I thought he was a goner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought he had gave up. You know?
Yeah.
That would have been bad, you know?
Yeah. True.
But it did crazy. It did crazy when you.
Simping, by the way? Was he simping, by the way?
What, on a new girlfriend? Maybe.
Yeah, his new girlfriend. I'm just kidding. She might.
Uh.
Maybe. Well, we don't know about that, but.
Mm-hmm. But it did crazy when you did think about it. Dimitri.
Yeah, true. So yeah.
It did crazy.
I was the one who actually made. I was the one who actually made the joke about McDonald's broken ice cream machines, and something related with broken down trains and broken down ice cream machines.
Right, you're going to laugh at this, but I went to go get a McFlurry 2 days ago at on the clock because it was super hot. It already hit an 80 here, and we're not supposed to hit 80 until April, you know, and we're already hitting it 2 months early. And
I've heard that in some areas in the South, they're heading 39 degrees Fahrenheit.
I know. Too early.
It's not supposed to be cold down in the South.
Well, the thing is that we are hot right now. Like, we hit 82 today, you know?
That sounds like summer temperatures.
The thing is, summer temperature around here are 95.
95.
Yup.
I'm down here, and everything's feeling like 65, but it's really 79 degrees.
That's because you guys are surrounded by the ocean.
Yeah, makes sense.
Plus, the mountain right there on your island, that helped keep it cool too.
Yeah, I'm actually surrounded by mountains.
That probably the other reason why. Because the higher...
and by the higher you get, the higher you are, the more colder it gets.
Bingo.
Yeah, there's actually a small town called Constanza, which is actually the coldest town in the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm. And it up in the mountains. I know that.
Yeah, I've heard it snows there too, but I believe it doesn't.
It does. We looked up the town. There are photo of snow on the ground.
And there's actually a Japanese colony over there too.
Hey, well, the Japanese are used to snow. Let's be honest, they're used to it.
Yeah, true. A Japanese colony in the Dominican Republic.
Hey, well, they would go to the higher point and colder point because that's their natural habitat.
Yeah, they're used to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not used to cold. I'm not used to the cold.
To be honest, even though I was born in South Carolina, I hate the heat. I'm more of a cold person. I love the cold. I hate the warm. I mean, heat.
Oh, Chicago.
Well. Look who have finally joined, even though I sent them the link about 20 minutes ago.
Yep.
Work like Ohio.
Oh, God, Valentine Church like Ohio. But, yeah.
Bro, you're listening, like, you breathe in the air, and then this is what happens.
Valentine breathed in the air. She did. Well,
All hail Chicago
Work like
Railtown.
well.
Okay, you guys are not breathing the air right now.
But Chicago Rail fan, we had a car for a train right by my house Wednesday. Someone actually died. Yep. Uh-oh. I think Chicago internet is breaking.
No, it's good. I'm still here.
But yeah,
Oh, all right.
but we had someone who tried to beat the Amtrak train across the track and got completely deleted, you know?
Brightline. That sounds familiar for Brightline.
Well, did with Amtrak this time, you know?
Yep. It's not a Brightline problem. It's just a railroad crossing problem. We usually
Exactly.
have those crashes. It's common to have those crashes here in the United States.
Mm-hmm. It's common, you know? Funny
Do you
thing,
know, like, the person? Wait, do you even know the person that got killed in the crash?
yep. Thing is that the person who got killed in the crash was high on
Yeah.
crack.
That sounds like a South Carolina thing to do.
Nope. That sounds more like a Florida man thing to do.
Oh gosh, don't bring me into this. I'm a Florida man too.
He probably breathed the air too. He breathed the air, and he was told to, on a railroad crossing, die like the way how the train derailed, I guess.
Let's be
That's
honest
what happened
about
when you breathe
that.
the air.
The East Palestine thing, you know, we were eventually going to have something like Black Mechanic, and it happened in East Palestine, you know?
Yep.
Dang it was only a matter of time, but this time no one died.
Yep.
What a miracle, you know? But good God. Brett,
Right.
we couldn't hear you. Your internet was breaking again.
Oh, let me try to go back again.
Your Chicago Rail fan, your internet breaking again. Can you hear him, Brightline?
Yeah.
How can you hear him, but I can't?
The internet, I believe.
Probably is. But I'll be honest, it's just been some crazy stuff happening, you know? 2023, it just gotten crazy, you know? Everybody said 2023 was going to be quieter than 2022. Dead wrong. You know?
I told you it's going to be a roller coaster year.
I kind of knew that too, but a lot of other people did not think that way. I kind of did.
Well, I gotta go now.
Yeah, I gotta get the one last thing done before I go to bed because I'm going to try to do some stuff tomorrow.
Are you going to continue the live stream without me, or?
I might for a couple more minutes anyway.
All right.
But
I'll talk to you in the next live stream.
all right, later, Brightline. All right, and Chicago Rail fan. Well, Chicago Rail fan internet broke. That Chicago Rail fan with always the crappy internet. Oh, sorry, bud. Don't mean to roast you, but yeah, let's get the last thing done before I end the live stream. Did look from 2021 in July. You know, I finally caught these suckers, you know? It took a bit, but I finally did. Some cool Long Island stuff on this side. Right here. But, yeah. Ugh, very cool. To be honest, guy, I do want to do more different areas of rail fanning. Like, that's something I always want to do. That's pretty cool. Now, I am speeding through because I do got to get ready to end the live stream really soon. But, yeah. Did one cooler one of the Trolley Museum. The Pennsylvania Trolley Museum was that freaking awesome. It's something that I think should be. It's going to be good educating for a lot of people. Well, in here, something cool. You know, one thing is that Mark in Washington, D.C., I hope they get more electrified locomotives. That would do them pretty well. Mark does got a diesel route and also electrified route for people who don't know. But it's kind of cool. Here's another cool railroad, which I have mapped out, and there is an area on the railroad that could be used for switching and stuff that I think is cool. So, yeah. But this is one of them cool railroads, and I mean cool I could be. Ohio. Fine. I like the little Canadian one right there with the switcher. Ooh, God. Butterfingers. A little bit of Butterfingers, guys. A little Civil War reenactment right there in that photo. But yeah, pretty cool. So there's some of the cool stuff right here, but yeah. And here the back right here with New Jersey Transit and the CEO train, the CXS run. But yeah. Now I hope y'all enjoyed that. But yeah, but I hope that live stream a reminder of it not worth trying to beat a train. So please take this serious. But yeah. But it's been a crazy live stream. Now I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. Please like and subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, guys, and have a nice night.